things theology, all things theology. We chop it up properly, without an apology. Gotta get doxology to God hollow, because this is how we do it at All Things Theology.
Yo, grace and peace, guys. Welcome back to an episode of All Things Theology, where I'm your host, Kdub. And today, I want to talk about Red Table Talk and Janelle Monae. But before we do that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and as always, click the notification bell so you can be aware when I drop new content. So, yes, I want to talk about Red Table Talk, but no, not Jada or Will Smith. That's not the point. They recently had a guest, Janelle Monae, which she's an artist. I actually don't know much about her. She may be very popular. I'm out of the loop when it comes to music like that. So, but she said something very interesting, and I want to take a look. So let's get into it.
I know. I grew up Baptist, super religious and super conservative. So I didn't love that. I didn't feel like I could really dream big. I had to kind of create my own world.
I thought that was very interesting. So she gives her kind of testimonial of coming out of conservative Christianity, and was very restrictive to her, right? Very, she didn't like it. It wouldn't allow her to do the things that she wanted to do. We're going to see kind of how that conflicts with what she is now, right? She not in a contradiction sense, but why she wouldn't like growing up conservative. Yes. There's morals and values and things like that. So yeah, I can see how that, you wouldn't like that. And so she grew up Baptist. Shout out to all my Baptists, having standards and things like that. But hey, she grew up in the church. She letting it known. She grew up in the church, like most artists who apostatize and things like that. But yeah, let's keep going.
Talk about the journey of your sexuality and you realizing this is who I want to be, this is who I am.
In 2018, after years of speculation and questions about her sexuality, Janelle made a bold move and came out on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine.
Hold on, let me go back a little because I want you to read that. Let's look at the little caption. Janelle Monae frees herself. See, you have our society is sexually confused, sexually twisted, I would even argue. But I want to let her describe her own quote unquote sexuality. So let's listen to this.
Stone magazine. She revealed she is pansexual, someone attracted to all sexes and genders.
I'm non-binary.
Yeah.
So I just don't see myself as a woman or solely or, I feel all of my energy. I feel like God is so much bigger than
Man
the
or
he
woman.
or the she. It's like,
Well, let's stop there, because oftentimes when you listen, and I want to be able to give people a reasonable response to these things, right? Because this is what's coming in the schools, this is what's coming in society. So we need to know how to be able to respond to this. So she says God is so much bigger than the he and she. Yeah, that's correct, right? God is not male nor female, right? God is God. So yes, that is true. But how she, I don't even know if I can say that with the non-binary, I don't know. This stuff is confusing to everyday language. But what she uses that to, Janelle uses that to mean is, well, there's no specific gender that I can hold to or don't have to hold to. Watch this statement here.
like something, and if I am from God, I am everything.
Yeah.
So if I'm from God, I'm everything. How does that actually? Well, if you actually follow her logic, it breaks down to society. Let me show you how. So she's saying, well, if she's from God, then she's everything. Meaning there's no. Well, what she means is there's no specific gender category which she falls into. Well, let's take her logic to its logical conclusion. Everything is from God, therefore gender is a myth. There's no such thing as a male nor female. So guess what? You can't even transition into a female or male. All this is, matter of fact, there is no such thing as fluidity. There's no transgender. So her ideology doesn't even make sense of what liberals are trying to do. Well, but we're gonna explore this consistency in her logic here in a second.
I am everything, but I will always stand with women.
Yeah.
I will always stand with Black women, but I just see.
Wait a second, Janelle. You can't say you stand with Black women if being endowed with, by your creator through creation means you're everything as he is. Well, even that is problematic because that's a more pantheistic, pluralistic view of God. So this is not coming from a biblical view of God, clearly, if just in case you're wondering. But you can't say you can't go on to say, well, since I come from God, then I am everything. But my neighbor who comes from God, well, they're a specific gender. That logic does not follow with what you just said previously. So we need you to be consistent. We need you to be consistent. And guess what? You want to talk about consistency? Well, dogs come from God, so therefore there's everything. So I want to know her conclusion is what's wrong with like bestiality. Now, I'm sure she would push back and say, well, that's disgusting, that's disturbing. Yes, but I'm following your logic to its logical conclusion, to its end. I want you to consistently tell me what's wrong with it. And then you can go to things like pedophilia. If everything comes from God, if what God creates means they're everything, consistently, what's wrong with that relationship? People like me would like to know. Now, I have a worldview which to condemn both acts which I described. But giving your pantheistic, pluralistic, no gender identity ideology, I would like to know what is actually wrong with it, given what you just said. See, conservatives, Christians, we need to be able to push back against all this stuff, and provide a biblical response. Oftentimes we're on the defensive, but we need to get on the offensive and say, well, hold on, how does that connect with what you said over here? What is a Black woman in your ideology of how did she describe it? I can't even keep up with all the language with her non-binary self. What is a Black woman? Not to quote Ketanji Brown Jackson. I'm not a biologist, so can we actually know, given your ideology? Things to think about.
Thing that I am beyond
beautiful.
Beyond the binary. When I see people, I see your energy first. I don't see like how you identify.
Totally.
And
what does that even mean? When I see you, I see your energy first. I don't see what you identify as. What does that even mean? Who cares what they identify as? Given your ideology, if you're created by God, you're everything. And even that is how can you be everything at the same time? I mean, even that is problematic and contradictory in itself. But hey, I get it. When you reject your creator, when you reject what he said, you're only given over to a contradictory, non-logical, illogical worldview. This stuff does not make sense in the world we live in. Not at all.
I feel like that opens you up to fall in love with
whomever.
With whomever. See, listen to that. See, this is what I said. Given your worldview, how can you say the acts that I described earlier are actually wrong? And hey, fall in love with whomever. See, there is no actual limitation in their view of love and who you're to be with and who you're not to be with. Now, if you take what she just said, who is this, Jada's mom? I don't know. If you just take what she just said and compare it with Janelle Monae's ideology, this stuff is scary. And guys, there are people pushing for this in schools, grooming, all this stuff is being talked about. So don't think that was like, oh, you're, slippery slope fallacy. No, this stuff is happening.
beautiful spirit,
That's so interesting. The times they are changing.
Yes.
Yes,
What
they
got
are.
you ready to come out publicly?
Well, somebody said if you don't work out the things that you need to work out first,
For
before
yourself.
you share with the world, then you'll be working it out with the world.
Yeah.
It was
you don't
something
wanna do
like
that.
Yeah, that's what I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
So I thought I
Right.
needed to have like
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What does that even mean? If you don't work it out with yourself, you'll work it out with the world. I have no clue what that even means. No clue. I'm I'm genuinely confused. But again, whole worldview makes no sense in light of reality, in light of what God has said. He has created us male and female, not non-binary, not everything. Like I said, that statement itself makes no sense at all. You're everything. You're male and female at the same time. Um, like I said, sometimes I'm lost of words at that irrationality of it. But hey, when this is Romans 1 at play, when you do not acknowledge God as God who He said He is, not the God. See, not the celebrity God that people will give thanks at award shows and thanks for their blasphemous music and movies that they've. Not that God, the God of the Bible, who has spoken. Not their golden calf God, which they can mold and shape and shift into whoever they want. I forget who said this, but this is the religion of the world, where they look into the well of religion, right? Where you well in the sense of getting water, a reflection. You can even use mirror. They look into the mirror of religion and they see themselves, and that's how they see God. Well, I'm okay with all this, so therefore God is okay with all this. And if you listen to her language, it's very much feel. I feel this. I feel that. Therefore God. It starts with man and reasons upward to God, and it's very man-centered. It doesn't say, well, hey, well, God says this, and I am to reflect that as Christians are. And so, hope this video was helpful. Hopefully it helps you in giving a response to all these things that are going in the world and our culture, and to better engage with it. So grace and peace, guys. Till next time, this is All Things Theology.